Greetings to you. As I prepare for the show today, I was thinking, whatever happened to the president's farm? Can somebody tell me what happened to the black belly sheep, the cows that the government allegedly smuggled, the president's private $10 billion farm, Suzanne Rodriguez apartments, Bishop Edgel's multifunctional, huge housing schemes for his family, Minister Zulkar Mustafa, potholes, floods, the man that was sleeping in some abandoned car somewhere in the city. Whatever happened to those headlines? Breaking news. You gotta be kidding me. You mean it just disappeared? Nobody cares about that anymore? Nobody is talking about the president's farm? Oh my gosh, that was huge news. They call for international this and international that to come and do investigation. Transparency. Whatever happened? Coffee. I want you to always bear this in mind. Propaganda is propaganda. Fake news is what it is. Bearing false witness is what it is. You are hyped for that few seconds, and then it just goes with the wind. The only thing that sticks around, the only thing that sticks around, that is immune to time, that is immortal, never goes away, always remains in the headline. That is truth. When something is based in truth, it don't disappear. It remains forever. No matter what you do, how you try to ignore it, you have to deal with it. Can't deflect it, can't distract from it. It's there. And the truth of the matter is, Azruddin Mohammed and his father, those two, are associated, accused, charged by international organization, law enforcement organization, of their crimes, not just in Guyana, transnational crimes. That is the truth. It was the truth 5 years ago. It was the truth 7 years ago. It was the truth 10 years ago, it is the truth today, and it shall remain the truth for as long as it takes. It is not going to disappear. The difference with propagandizing, fake news, making stuff up as against what is solid and can be proven. Welcome to the Uncensored Guyana show. I am Dr. El Prasad, and President Irfan Ali, Prince Ali, is my friend, my brother, and my president. Just to state that, just to put it there. So 3 more of the Mohammed's employees, not ex-employee, not former employee, employees. The fact that the Mohammed's, Azruddin Mohammed, continues to secure legal protection for these accused, it means that he is vested in their accusation. It means that their freedom is a direct consequence to him going to prison. So he has to facilitate them not going to prison or being convicted. Because if they are found guilty, they have to give up the mastermind. Literally give him up. So 3 more surrendered to the police. Wanted bulletin was issued for them. They turned themselves in. As of late, I haven't checked on their details, but you can assume that Mohammed is going to provide his lawyers to go and try to get them out on another $1 million each bail. Ladies and gentlemen, Azruddin Mohammed is not that generous. He's not that generous because there are many other cases, many other instances where people were arrested, brought to the police station. They're in prison right now because they cannot post bail. Some of those people's relatives reached out to Azruddin Mohammed. I know one particular case, and that person shared the information with me. I have to protect my sources. And the person said their relative who worked for Azruddin was caught with a certain portion of illegal substances a while back. They're still in prison because they can't post bail. Mohammed disacknowledged and says he wants no associations with those people. They're still in prison because they can't post bail. And they were associates of Azruddin Mohammed. Why then is he taking on these accused of the brutal murder of Paper Shorts? Why is he taking on their burden? He already invested $3 million to get the others on bail, station bail. Now 3 more were sought after by the police to give evidence, sworn testimony, and they might be held beyond 3 days, beyond 72 hours. Then they will be put on bail. As of this program, I don't have any information to say otherwise. But like I said, who is going to stump up the bail money for the other 3? If it is Azruddin Mohammed, the question is, ladies and gentlemen, why? You are that generous, Azradin, to put your blessed, as you said, Allah blessed you. You're going to take Allah's blessings and put up bail for persons who are accused of murder. You think that's what Allah wants you to do with the blessings He gave you? You think that's how God blesses people, to take the blessings to do things like that? No, you have to let criminals rot. You are accused of murder, you got to go down. God didn't give me money to help you. If I have to help people, I would help people who are innocent, who can't help themselves. I'm not saying innocent of a crime, innocent as in children, older folks, poor people, the destitute, the handicapped. They're innocent. You help them, like we are doing with the Dorga Foundation. But to say you're going to take your blessed money and help somebody because they worked for you who is accused of crime, not just any crime, murder. Are you serious? Is he that good? No, that's some bad shit. That's some terrible stuff. You are associating your blessings to bail some accused criminals. It's your taxpayers' money. I hope you understand that. Just so that he can stay out of prison, he's putting up bail money for the persons associated with him that is connected with gruesome, gruesome murder. If they go down, he is going down. You know, they have the saying, they send messages to him, hey, I ain't gonna snitch, but if I go down, you're going down. Now, he can't kill all six. That would be suspicious. The whole world will know that he's behind it. So the only choice he has is to allow them to blackmail him, put up their defense, put up their bail money, and make sure he does what he has to do to make this thing disappear, make it go away. But it wouldn't. Like I said, the truth is here to stay. The truth is, enough evidence is here tying Azradin Mohammed to the gruesome murder and the conspiracy to commit murder of Paper Shorts and Roger Khan, who God spared. Not dismissing the fact that there are other people. A known gold dealer, a prominent businessman who was a rival to Azradin Mohammed. He wanted to take the man out of the business because he couldn't compete. That's what happens. When you are weak, you are a little girl, you can't compete, so you want to take out your competition. Not by destroying their business, you want to kill the man so he wouldn't compete with you. That is another conspiracy to commit murder that Azradin is fingered in. At some other point, I'll let you know who the person is. Right now, it's irrelevant to the case. I'm just letting you understand that Azradin Mohammed is an evil man. He's an evil, evil man. You know, like the song says, the man come out from Lombard Street, saying how the crime's so sweet, wanting to blame all on Ali, then target Jagdeo, talking but Nandalal, just because he wants to get away with it. That is Azradin, the criminal. Azradin, the criminal. Azradin, the criminal. You want me to sing it for you? The man come out from Lombard Street, saying he loved the crime so sweet, wanting to blame all on Ali, then target Jagdeo. That's it. I can't do better than that. Anyway, yeah, it's the truth. The crime was so sweet, suddenly he started blaming it on Ali and targeting Jagdeo, then saying it's Nandalal's fault. Let me digress here. There's some things I want to stress on. You have seen the situation there where this mad black woman, mentally deranged, a psychopath, apparently she woke up terrible in the morning. She was in her period. This is the time when they're in their period. This is the time of the month when women are in their period. It's the worst time to mess with them. She was late in her period, looked like a mess. Apparently, she has no man and has 5 children for 5 different men, and nobody is contributing. So she's angry. She got to put gas in her car. She has to pay her insurance. She got to do all these things. She got to pay BM soats. Run down to the city, only to find what appeared to her as a parking spot. She didn't see the person there holding the spot, maybe for his own car. She didn't care. She wanted to go in that space. The man keeps standing there. Possibly the man indicated to her, no, I'm holding this for my own vehicle. Somebody's bringing my car to park it here. Find another parking spot. The typical ghetto Negro who is a bully, knowing that's another black man, looked a bit feminine, but that's besides the point. She didn't care. She proceeded to reverse her vehicle. The man didn't walk into her vehicle. He held his ground. Held his ground because I'm holding this parking spot for my own vehicle. It's coming. You just happen to come in front of my vehicle so the person could come in. Go and find another parking spot. She reversed her vehicle with the first degree intention of running the man over. I want you to understand, if you saw that video, I want you to understand something. She got in her vehicle, premeditated, threatened the man. She threatened the man, got in her vehicle, put it in reverse, and proceeded to reverse her vehicle, making contact with the man's legs. If the other woman who was standing there, there was another woman, a good Samaritan. Not all black women are niggers, but the one who drove that vehicle that was charged in a court, that's a nigger. The other woman used her sense and said, hey, what are you doing? You want to run the man over for a parking spot? So the woman pulled the man away. He was not going to move. She pulled the man away and she just continued reversing into that space. I want you to understand this. If that other woman wasn't there, if the other woman wasn't there to hit on the vehicle, say, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to run the man over. That psychopath would have run over that man. Reverse over that man. That was her intention. It was her intention to, I don't know, kill the man, maim the man, break the man's legs. That was her intention. And then she has the audacity to make a post on Facebook saying that because the man works for the DPP or the man is a lawyer, is a bully. You are a fucking bully. You are the bully. I know what I'm talking about. I have had those situations in the past with black women. So I know what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do with position or taking advantage. You motherfuckers don't know your place. You don't know when to ease off and just back the fuck off. You think you are entitled. If you go to a supermarket, you want to rush in front of everybody for you to cash your stuff. Oh, I just have one drink. Wait the fucking line. Go in the line. You go to a government building, you go to some office, you want to be served first. You go to the hospital, you want to beat the doctor up because you have to wait. It's a typical black women's mentality. I know what I'm talking about. They're always in a hurry, always angry, aggressive, and the whole world is against them because they are supposed to be always privileged. For what? For what? She dressed like a skunt. She looks like a skunt. Look at how that man was properly dressed. The man was on his job. Where was she? What is she, a teacher? She couldn't be a teacher if she was a teacher. Because now is the vacation time, right? The only people who would be on vacation right now are people who are in the education sector and other sectors. So I don't want to assume that that's a teacher with that conduct. I don't want to assume that's a teacher. Because if she happens to be a teacher, you better fire the fuck out of that nigger. Fire her. That's the bitch that's raising your kids. That's raising your kids with that attitude, cussing out, threatening. The court was too lenient with her. And since that man happens to be a lawyer, that man should sue your ass for assault. Sue you because you hit him with your vehicle. We all saw that. You hit the man, you reverse and hit the man with your vehicle. He should sue you. Yeah. You dumbass. Go ahead and call, what's his name? Dexter Todd. Organize a protest. Blame it on the PPP. Yeah, you woke up angry at Ali and you just wanted to beat somebody up. The fact that that man is a lawyer, he had to keep himself composed. That's what education does. That's what education does. That's why a lot of black people should go to school. Get a degree. Education keeps you composed. You're more reserved. You're thinking, I come too far to allow this bitch to make me commit myself. But that was wrong. That was wrong. If you are driving your vehicle and you have issues finding parking space, nobody told you to leave your house with your car. You're coming to the city. You're going to the city. There is never parking places in the city unless you pay for private parking. Pay. There is no such thing as public parking. Come first park. You can't show up and you know very well somebody is holding a space for somebody else and you want to bully them for the space. That don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You're going to the city to conduct business, take a bus, take a taxi, leave your car at home. Nobody holding parking space for you. That was terrible, disrespectful. And what got to me is that she's coming and trying to double down on that and blaming the man. I know women always do that. They do fuck up and then they say it's the man's fault. She wants to blame the man for her going to court. Well, that goes on her record. Permanent. So if she has to go somewhere, she got to access a visa, any documentation, and must get a police clearance. That will be on her record for life. For her stupidity. She was convicted by a court for assault, for cyber crimes. She was convicted. She's a criminal. Yeah, I said it. You fucking criminal, you black scunt, you stupid. You see why I cuss them niggas? You see why? The women and the men are the same. The blacker they are, the more inclined for violence they are. I'm talking skin color. The darker they are, the more fucked up they are. That is a fact. Check it out. Check it out. And the ones who think they're light skinned, what I call them? Ready mate. I mean, okay, that is Suriname talk. They call them red girl or red woman, whatever red shit they call them. Oh, those kinds are prostitutes. The dark ones are the ones that are violent and criminally oriented. They want to beat somebody up. And the light skinned ones, they're the ones you touch them and their legs open. The weaker ones, they want to fuck everybody's husband. They want to fuck the whole neighborhood. Their body's covered with tattoos. Look at Smelly Smell. Look at Smelly Smell. And the others there in America that are pimping themselves. And speaking of Smelly Smell, yes, I call her Smelly Smell. I didn't give her that name. I heard it. And I think it suits her. So I keep repeating it, Smelly Smell. Where is ICE when you need them? I want the Americans' immigration department, customs, and hear this. A lot of you ICE officers, you're men. You're men. You understand how a man conducts himself with his partner, his wife, and things like that. If she's a bitch, he lets her go. But you're men. This Smelly Smell woman is alleged to have been married to an American citizen. And she's living with this husband, so to speak. Hence, processing whatever papers to get her citizenship. You know, you marry an American man, you can apply for citizenship. You know how it goes. So the ICE officers, I want you to think about this. Do you think any man in his right mind, American man to be precise, an older man, in his right mind, is going to sit back and allow his wife to carry on like Smelly Smell? Putting pussy pictures on Facebook, going to clubs, orgies, this party, that party, coming on the street, fighting with people, public brawl. You think any man would allow his wife to conduct herself that way? No matter how desperate that man is, he would put her outside and say, hey, no. Look the door. So the fact that Smelly Smell behaves like a single woman, she talks like a whore, she gang up on other people like how the way these street prostitutes do it, she ain't got a husband. The whole thing is staged. The whole thing is a fixed paid wedding. What do they call it? There's a term they use for that. When they go and they buy a marriage, they pay the man to marry them just to get the papers. Isn't that illegal in America, ICE? Donald Trump, President Trump, isn't that what you're fighting against? So how come you can't investigate this Smelly Smell woman and see that the whole thing is fake? That she don't have a husband. It was staged. Because no man matters not how desperate he is for pussy, at least not that pussy, would allow his wife to behave the way Smelly Smell behaves. They have an arrangement. It is not a marriage. It's an arrangement. Business. He gets some pussy, she does what she got to do, but it's nothing to do with a strong bond, a loving relationship. That's what the system is based on. Marriage should be between people who are consenting adults, who love each other, who have a relationship, who know each other, but not you fake something because you want to get a green card. Look into that matter. Marco Rubio, State Department, Smelly Smell, and all them other fucking bitches online from Guyana who coming and doing all the shit they're doing, the ghetto stuff they're doing, and claiming they are married to American men. It's fake. Go and look into it and send their ass back to Guyana. The man from Lombard Street is waiting for them. He got some houses for them to clean. Since nobody's going in his houses, and he has to deliver the houses in good condition to the government, he needs some employees. He has none right now. They're in jail. They're on bail. So he has to deliver these houses to the government. I am interpreting for you what you're missing. And what you are missing, because of all the distraction, the Guyana government, something they should have done decades ago, dragging their feet on. Every other country does it. Even Suriname. They seize your property if they suspect what you're doing came from questionable circumstances. They seize your property. They investigate you. And in most cases, you go to jail. You can't do that kind of business in Suriname, most countries. Guyana is now stepping into that. And since they have been busy, thanks to President Irfan Ali, the man they accuse of being corrupt, they say Ali is corrupt, right? But yet in the Ali regime, from 2020 to now, how much illegal businesses, properties, assets that were acquired from money laundering, criminal activities, has been seized by the Ali government so far. Tens of million value, billion value in illegal property arrangement. They're dragging their feet. They were dragging their feet, waiting for the American case to be finalized, then to know the scale of wealth that the Mohammeds have amassed through illegal means, then to go after it. But since they realize that we can't wait, they can't afford to wait on the American verdict because the evidence is before them. The facts are before them. You stole 191 billion Guyana dollars. 191 billion Guyana dollars. The assets that the Mohammeds have in Guyana, forget the other countries, because they have in other countries. What they have in Guyana, throughout the length and breadth of Guyana, I'm not talking businesses, I'm talking assets. It is not 100 billion. It doesn't total that. So for the government to recover their taxes, they have to take all the properties tied to the Mohammeds, Hadi's World, the Cambios, the mining company, the construction company, the shell companies. They have to take all of that. And it still would not reach 191 billion. The Mohammeds will still owe the state billions. For them to actually get that liquid cash, They have to access all those offshore accounts the Mohammeds have in the Middle East, in Switzerland, in all these other countries. They have to access that. Then they can recover that money. The cash is not in Guyana. They spread it out over the years. The assets, it doesn't total that. All the secret assets they may have, it still doesn't total that. You know what's $1 billion? You know what is $1 billion Guyana dollars? That's a lot of money. Look at the schools they're building. Which school? Those gigantic schools the government is building around the country. Which individual school amounts to $1 billion? Which one? How many schools can you build with $1 billion? Many. How many stretch of roads can you build with $1 billion? Kilometers. With $1 billion Guyana dollars, you're talking multiple properties, massive. More than 50 properties, high-rise buildings for $1 billion. Think about 10 billion. So even if the Mohammeds have 100 properties, I heard they have that amount. They have more than 100 properties, more than that. But not all are not these massive properties. There are the houses here, houses there, houses there. But if they put all their properties together, it is not valued at 5 billion or 10 billion. Give them 10 billion the max. Because depends on where your property is located, that might determine the value. 10 billion, the most. So while the government is finalizing the programs that they're going after, and they're going to begin seizing properties tied to the Mohammeds, it's far from the total asset that the Mohammeds are indebted to when it comes to Guyana and the state and the people of Guyana. So what the government has to do now, what they're busy doing, is with every conviction that illegal activities is tied to a particular property, from their findings, they can target that property. It's going to take a process, but the process has begun. When I said the other day, this is bigger than the killing of paper shorts, bigger than the whole idea that this was tied to some side chick. It was tied to properties. Yeah. All of that, the state must go after. No one is above the law. At least we know where Irfan Ali gets the money from to invest in his properties. We know. Check the bank records. Everything he can account for. Where the money came from, who provided the money, he can account for that. Check his bank accounts. He can account for every cent in his bank account. He can't say, well, this was a gift, or I sold a property for that is valued at 10 million, I sold it for 10 billion. He can account for every cent. So nobody can target him and say, well, the Attorney General Chambers must also go after politicians who have acquired their properties under questionable circumstances. No, as far as I know. And you know, I don't like a lot of the ministers in Ali's cabinet. I don't like a lot of them. Yeah. I didn't say I hate them. I said I don't like them. A lot of them. So if I have any information tying them to dirty business like that of Azradin, oh, I would be happy to talk about it. I would be so pleased because I don't like them, some of them. But what I know is that when it comes to their properties, I have nothing on them. They're all indebted to banks. I ain't talking somebody who's lending money in the street. Ministers are not allowed to do that. They can't borrow money from some friend or some, no. There's certain codes of conduct, certain ethics that they have to adhere to. Everything has to pass through. They must see a paper trail as to how their money is acquired, how they build what they build. It must be there. No washing of money, no on the table, no. So I have nothing on them when it comes to alleged corruption for money laundering. So I know very well that the state would not go after any minister and say, hey, come, let me see where you get this thing from. Because the state knows where the minister get this money from to build his property. The bank owns it. Ali's farm, the bank owns it. But the Mohammeds, they don't owe the bank. He himself said the bank used to take money from them, used to borrow foreign currency from them. His mouth said that. His mouth also says the Lamborghini costs close to $1 million American dollars. His mouth. When he told the Christmas skunk that, his mouth said that. So this is not hearsay. We're just repeating what he himself said. He thought he was invincible at the time. He thought he was untouchable. Everybody will do his bidding because he is the criminal from Lombard Street. Talking about how crime so sweet, wanted to blame every that asshole. So we know his property, the state is going to come after that. Thanks to the policies the government has passed, and since they are collaborating now with all of these agencies around the Caribbean, working together, so all the properties the Mohammeds would have in other countries, Trinidad and Colombia and Venezuela and wherever it is, forget Venezuela, but all the other decent CARICOM countries, the government are going to recover everyone, each and every one. So by the time they're finished with it, their sentencing, they can ask the US State Department to send them to, what's the country? Tunisia. They can go join the monks there. Because there's nothing else to come back to Guyana. All their properties would be seized. The government is going to sell it, auction it to recover the money. So instead of coming back to Guyana after you serve your time in prison in America, and then you got to come back to Guyana to serve more jail time, well, I guess you don't have a choice. You have to come back. You do the crime, you have to do the time. You have to return. So I wanted to share that with the friends of Azradin Mohammed to let them understand. Unfortunately, you're not going to stay in that apartment. The state is going to possess that apartment, all the apartments. And it's not political prosecution. They're not persecuting a criminal. He is getting his due justice. Like the one he delivered to people, he is getting that. No targeting that anybody wants to take him down. No, he has done enough. It's not fair that the government can go after your cousin your uncle, because he was a drug dealer and he amassed properties and so on from money he would have made from smuggling drugs, and the government go and seize the property, seize everything, put him in jail, but the Mohammeds are allowed to walk away? No. Justice for all. Like C.N. Sharma used to say, justice for all. In this sense, Guyana deserved justice from the Mohammeds. And they're giving Guyana justice is the Guyana government going after their properties, seizing everything they have so they can recover. And this is not just about recovering. Understand this, not just about recovery. The law is against amassing wealth by those means. It is illegal to do all the bad business the Mohammeds did and to come and show off wealth. It's illegal. You can serve prison time for that. So one, by virtue of what they did, the crimes they committed, and the money they made from the crimes they committed, that is one of the basic reasons why their properties will be seized. Secondly, they cheated the system. They laundered money out of the country to avoid paying taxes. Another reason why they will go after everything they have. That is just. Everyone should be treated the same under the law. Azradine is not above the law. And the justice system of Guyana need to make that clear. Whoever else now is going to preside over any case involving the Mohammeds, it's not going to be Judge Judy. It's not going to be Judge Judy. It's going to be some other magistrate. Not Magistrate Judy, some other magistrate. And based on that magistrate's ruling, we shall see if any favors were extended to the Mohammeds from Judge Judy. The way it looks, it's really, really bad for them. From their employees being arrested, to now the government is going to make moves to levy on their properties. Judge Judy no longer would preside over their case. The CCJ would give a ruling. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy president. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Wanting to have a side chick and then kill a man because the man fucked your side chick. It's against God. It's against the Bible. It's against the Quran. So he has to pay for it. Has to pay for it. What you, the decent people of Guyana, need to do is to stand with your government. Aren't you for law and order? Don't you want a country where law is the time of the day? Where justice is the time of the day? Where nobody gets away with crime? Isn't that what you want for your country? That is going to protect your family, your future, your children. So they will see that no, if they go down that road, that's what's waiting for them at the end of that road. They're going to stick in school, finish their diplomas, get their degrees, get into a legitimate stream of income, so they don't have to face these things in their future. That's what you want for your children. Not for them to think that Azradine is cool because he's a criminal. He can bully people. He can organize people's death. He can do this. He can do that. Oh, it's nice. It's gangster. No, let them see what the consequences of a life like that. The consequences as to what this billionaire is facing. Can't sleep at night. He gets nightmares every night. with all the money and the golden mattress and all the finest things in life that he has. He can't eat, can't sleep, can't even hide. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Peace of mind is more valuable, is much more valuable than what the Mohammeds superficially possess, but yet they are living in hell, misery. The inevitable is that they would spend the rest of their lives in jail. That is the inevitable. Is it worth it? No, it's not. It's not worth it. Most of you are free. You can fly to any country, walk into any police station, go anywhere except for the ghetto neighborhoods where they shoot you, they rob you. Forget that. But you can go to anywhere. You're free. You have your freedom. And you're living paycheck to paycheck. And the billionaire, he can't leave the borders of Guyana. He can't get on a plane in Guyana. You think that life is worth it? Your billions can't save you. Your Lamborghinis can't drive you across the border. Your yacht can't sail you out into the Atlantic Ocean. It's not worth it. The rest of you, you have peace of mind. You enjoy your country. You can build your house finally. The government is building your foundations for you. They're giving you, hey, let's build your foundation for you. Imagine that. What else do you want? The government of Guyana is building your foundation for your house. They don't want you to leave the land there for 5, 6, 10 years. You know what? You get the land, you have issues with money, okay, don't worry. We're going to build the foundation for you and you can build from that. They're giving you complete housing, turnkey. All you do is you take yourself, your clothes, and whatever furniture you have in your family. That's all you do. They're giving you houses where you can build yourself if you wish. Now they're giving you land plus building your foundation for you. And you fuckers, you ungrateful fuckers, are cussing the president. You're cussing the president. You're some sick, sick motherfuckers. Sick, greedy, selfish, ungrateful sons and daughters of bitches. You don't deserve Ali. You don't deserve Guyana. Go to Africa. I can't stop saying it. Ungrateful motherfuckers. Which country does that? Which country government does that? Which government in which country does what Ali is doing for you ungrateful dogs? Who does that? No country, none on the planet Earth does it. This is a good time for me to sign off because I'm getting angry. My anger is raising right now. And before I have to say stuff that I'm going to further accuse, you're going to accuse me or whoever it is for race baiting, whatever. It's a good time for me to quiet now and just sign off. I'll just sign off. I get pissed when I have to talk this way. Ungrateful sons of bitches. Anyway, have a good day.